Hi everybody, it's David Fleming here from the Toronto Realty blog, and welcome to this week's Pick 5. Now you may notice something a little different in this week's Pick 5. Yes, in fact, this is the first time I've ever worn a hoodie while filming Pick 5. And I'm also at home in my office, which I think I've probably done in Pick 5 before, at least a couple times, maybe pandemic last year. And my goodness, I remember doing a Pick 5 from my deck in Idaho, pre-pandemic. Might have even been pre-children. Wow, those were the days. Anyways, yes, I am at home. It is late on Wednesday night. I am speaking quietly because my whole family's sleeping and trying not to wake them. But things are absolutely nuts out there right now. Honestly, I know I say this a lot. I think it's the busiest I've ever been. So I have to do this on Wednesday night. I've got a full day on Thursday, but I'm cool. I'm in my home office. I don't know what you can see and what the camera captures. On this side, yes, I collect knives and swords, or I did when I was younger and cooler or weirder. As soon as my son is old enough to reach them, I'm going to have to put them in a box for the next 10 years. What else? I am surrounded by hockey cards, as I'm sure you're aware from watching Pick 5 and reading Toronto Realty blog. Someone dissed me the other day. They're like, stick to baseball cards and leave design to people with style. I was like, you know it's hockey cards. That's what I wrote back. I said, you know it's hockey cards. Don't pretend like you don't. Anyways, yeah, since you asked, my old man and I have started collecting 53s, 53 Parkhurst. We're only collecting PSA 9s. This is a Terry Sawchuk. It's a special one. And that sound, the plastic, so this is what's happened. Yeah. You ready for this? You think you're cooler than me? Plastic sleeves for the hockey cards, which are encased in plastic, but we don't want the plastic to scratch, hence why we put them in plastic sleeves. And then we'll invent sleeves for the sleeves, for the sleeves, for the sleeves. I'm going crazy. Anyways, guys, in the spirit of doing something different, like filming from my home office, approaching midnight while droning on about hockey cards, I figured today we would talk about luxury condo townhouses. Now, this is an interesting one for me because I'll be honest, I don't have a lot of experience in this segment, but I did get an email from somebody who has, you ready for this? Been reading my blog for 10 years. And he never said hello. 10 years. Looking to relocate from, won't say where, but Toronto real estate will probably be cheap by comparison, and sort of saying, I don't want to own a house. I've owned lots of houses. I'm not interested in owning a house, but I'm also not interested in being in a condo. A van down by the river? No. And the more we got to talking, you realize it was, I don't want to be in a high rise. I don't want to take elevators. I don't want to wait for elevator banks. I want walkability. I'm older. I want to walk out the steps. And it just sort of spoke to me to condo townhouses, but not necessarily the condo townhouses that are standalone. Some of the condo townhouses that are in the base of larger buildings. And I've talked a lot in the past about how if you're going to look for a condo townhouse, don't necessarily look for one in the base of a building. If you're looking at, say, Liberty Village, those condo townhouses, they are standalone, they're on their own, they're separate, they're not part of a tower, your fees are lower, your responsibilities are different, and you're not sharing with the people that are on the 88th floor. That's not for everybody. For this particular buyer, it seems to reason that you want all of the benefits of being in a tower, right? You want the concierge, you want the white glove service, you want the underground parking, you want all the amenities. You just don't want to be up there. So then it got me thinking, what else is available? It sent me one property, started looking at other stuff, and lo and behold, before you know it, it turns into a Pick 5. So it may not, and by may not, I mean most certainly will not apply to 99.99% of the people that are watching this Pick 5, but I realize a lot of people watch it just for fun and to learn a little bit about real estate. So why don't we do this? I can't see. I'm going to have a serious glare happening now. That's better. So we'll go to the map. And what you're going to notice here is that, yeah, they're all pretty much in Yorkville in the Annex, right? Okay, so there they are. Like if you literally were to shine a light from the roof of all these and what, I don't know, go up in a spacecraft, I don't know where it's going with that. But like you're just beaming right down to the exact same spot, right? You know, just throw some stuff out there and it all lands basically at Pears Avenue Road. So what we've got here are 5 properties, and I think we're up as high as almost $5 million the last one. My goodness. So we're going to start with one right here. Okay, this is 38 Avenue Road, and as you can tell, it's on the Y in Yorkville, so it's pretty centrally located within Yorkville. So Yorkville Annex, obviously if you're looking for luxury and you're looking for luxury town, you're going to end up in this area undoubtedly. So what you can see here, guys, and you've probably driven by this a million times, but you maybe never, I don't know, thought, you know, who lives there, what are the units like? It's a very pretty looking building from the outside. So the building is called the Prince Arthur. This is a 20-year-old building, and let me just go back to this. For some reason I look at this and, you know, there's some red brick and some concrete, but it looks older. I would have expected it's more. I think it's about 150 units, and yeah, you know, it's luxury. What can I say? So let me go to the floor plans here. You've got 2,425 square feet, and hopefully you guys can see this. What you've got are 2 levels, right? So you're going to want, as I said, in a condo townhouse, you walk in, you've got dining, living, kitchen, breakfast, because that's what you would expect in your house, right? And then you're going to go up a level. There's a service elevator, a passenger elevator, okay. You go up a level, and what have you got? You've got bedroom, media, you've got tons of closets, you've got lots of bathroom, lots of storage, right? And yes, it's Yorkville, so it's that luxury location. Yes, it's white glove, it's the Prince Arthur, but this is what I'm getting at from the perspective of somebody that's saying, I don't want to live in a tower, but I don't want to live in a house. And so what you've got, I'll go to the photos. This one's not as, I want to say nice, but it's not as modern as the other one. It's a little bit older, a little bit lived in. But what you've got is essentially like, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but my wife's grandparents were in a massive house, they were in a house on Lawnsmount. And when it came time to downsize and they moved into a condo, they made it look, you know, like their house. And so to each their own, you know, these runners aren't exactly what you want. It's not modern, and neither are these pickets here. But for the people that live here, and for some people that are downsizing from, as I said, houses in Forest Hill or Rosedale, this is your furniture, this is what was in your house, this is what you want. So whether it's the pillars here, whether it's the vaulted ceiling, you've got, it's not herringbone, but it's, you know, like diagonal, it's different. It gives you a feeling of like you're in a house. Of course, your furniture also helps, but just everything in here. And this is the shot that to me kind of made me feel like I was in somebody's older Forest Hill, Rosedale house. Big windows looking at green space. It gives you that feeling of, yeah, I'm at home. I'm in my house, right? And yeah, I know the frames on this kind of stuff helps. But if you're downsizing or if you're relocating, and again, you want to be able to, you know, have your car underground. You want the concierge to do all of your stuff. I was going to say bidding. But you don't want to be in the condo tower, right? And that's exactly what this is. So yeah, it's a bit dated, right? And again, furniture does not help. But it's a beautiful space. It's a massive space, a Titanic, with a light shining on it. Maybe somebody worked on that film. Oh, I see other film. Okay, so okay, maybe. Oh, that's a film room. Oh, that one again, huh? Right? So you get a sense of the space, right? And I know, right, older, carpet, etc. But look, you got a walk-in closet. You're looking out the windows at trees. It feels like a house. And yeah, it's $3.2 million, and it needs a little bit of work. But there's a buyer for everything out there. Older, dated. I get it. We're just starting with this one. Whoa. Where would you even get furniture like that? And the artwork. Wow, man. There you go. So ground floor, right? Very nice, very private. And even if it's like not the most private, like there could be people there, I mean, you're in Yorkville, right? You know, I don't think anyone's walking by begging for change. Okay, so there's an aerial view, right? So you can see this is a tower as part of the complex. This is Avenue, obviously. This is what we saw there in the opening photo. And yeah, there are condo towns, if you can believe it. There are condo towns in this complex. What did they, like, how high up did they go for this? Jeez Louise. This is crazy. Is that a drone? Like up here? I'm actually scared just looking at that. And you can see back here or where those patios are. So I thought that was a cool one to start with. We're just getting our feet wet. I showed you photos and floor plan. I didn't even tell you about the specs. 2-bed, 3-bath. I think we saw that. Yeah, the fees. Yeah, $2,600 a month. Wow, and you pay your own utilities. But you're in Yorkville, right? So again, I told you from the very beginning, it is highly unlikely that you are watching this and you're like, oh yeah, you know, George, do you think that's for us? But it's part of the education process, right? Coveted and rarely offered. It's true. They are rarely offered. There's only a few of them. And that terrace is 500 square feet. Okay, so let's move on here. We're going to 55 Prince Arthur now. So 55 Prince Arthur, older building too, right? Now here's the interesting thing. You can see here MTCC 717. That's how you know that it's older. But if you look at the photos, it's really, really well done. So actually, you know what? No, I did the photos first last time. Let's do this. Let's look at the specs first. $3.8 million, right? For 2-bed, den, 3-bath, over 3,000 square feet. You have $3,100 plus in fees. 2 parking spaces, terrace. So I wanted to show you, I don't think they show the outside of the building here. Yeah, they do. So that's the outside of the building, and these are the townhouses, right? So you look at this, that's a 35-year-old building if I've ever seen one. Now, where is Prince Arthur? Okay, could not possibly be more in Yorkville. So we were Avenue and Prince Arthur right here. That was where we started at 38 Avenue. Here is 55 Prince Arthur. So again, living in this area, you want to call it luxury, Yorkville, right? Your steps to Bloor. Gosh, that's a lot of subway stops, excuse me. So obviously, yeah, we've got location pretty good. But the building itself, as I said, older. But look at the work that they've done. So I could have called this one today, like, you know, just Yorkville, right? Could have called it $3,000 fees in Yorkville. But we're looking at condo towns. This thing is completely gutted. It's absolutely gorgeous. And so what the first one didn't have in terms of the renos, this one certainly does. That's freaking gorgeous. Now, of course, we're also looking at furniture, which even I'm guilty of doing sometimes, because really nicely presented places, really nicely staged places, a lot of times we're just looking at the furniture. But it shows really, really well, doesn't it? 3.8 million bucks. Better, right? That's a pantry right there, folks. Wow. Everything in this is so nice. Again, like, what's not to love? But in a 35-year-old building, again, I think the buyer for this is obviously downsized, or someone that doesn't care about a 35-year-old building. You know what I find interesting? My wife watches, you know, like $1 Million Listing, right? So you look at like $1 Million Listing New York, and there are a lot of these types of units, absolutely renovated, gutted, gorgeous, in older buildings. No one there seems to care. It's a Toronto thing. People in Toronto, they judge a building by how old it is. Like, look, up here, old, right? Not a huge outdoor space, but they've redone the doors, right? Some cedar up top. Like, you know, they obviously went to the condo board and said, whatever it was that was here, we're getting rid of that. We want something more modern, right? Not a lot of photos, but man, is that pretty. Anyway, so 3.8 million bucks. Let's look at the history of this one. Okay, was up for 3.99, but it's never been listed previously, right? Somebody has had this thing for a very, very long time. Wow, and look at the word there, New York style townhouse. I swear I didn't plan that when I was comparing to New York. Really just $1 Million Listing New York. But yeah, I mean, look, what's to say? Toronto's most prestigious streets. You know, I don't believe in prestigious, blah, blah, blah. But gutted and designed by Wise Nadal Design. I don't know who that is, but I'm sure if I look them up, I'd think that they're pretty good at what they do. One more thing I wanted to show you. Can we get that up there, please? $50 gift card to Morton's Steakhouse for each buyer showing. What? Why? Like, it's a $3.8 million listing. Aren't you kind of cheapening your offering by giving people $50 to Morton's? First of all, what do you get for $50 at Morton's? You get to lick some other guy's ice cream. Yeah. Anyways, okay, so we're moving on. 67 St. Mary's. So this one's newer, as you can see, and I'm teaching you something here today. You can tell by the numbering. Okay, so I think we're on like 2,800 now. So TSCC 2525, right? So this is a few years old. So 67 St. Mary's, where are we? Okay, and zoom out a little bit. Yeah, so we were over here, 38 Avenue. We were on Prince Arthur. So now we're down here, south of Bloor. Pretty exclusive area in here. Okay, St. Thomas. Yeah, I think Drake had a place there. Who else lived there? Colangelo, Burke. One of the big, I can't remember, it's late. Anyway, so another very, very exclusive little pocket here, and these things are relatively new. So let me scroll down here. Okay, so the U, okay? So this is the U. So I want to show you, okay, so here we go. The building itself, the listing itself had no photos. So this is the building. It's beautiful, sticks out like a sore thumb. Oh yeah. There's a U, because it's called the U. And this is what I meant by sticks out like a sore thumb. So, I mean, I remember, God, I'm old now. I remember when they were talking about building this, the prices they were asking, I was like, $950 a foot, that'll never work. But I cannot believe the prices that people paid to be here. I really, really can't. So the St. Mary's, this is an offshoot. Let me just go back to the map. So the U itself, right? The U itself is here, and it's 5 years old. It's 1,000 units, right? There's so many tiny little condos. And then the towns are over here on St. Mary's. So this one is really, really nice. Now, there's not a lot of photos. 3.8 million bucks. Again, street level access from St. Mary's. You're in the U itself, and yes, it's a big building, but it's great amenities. It's not as white glove, right? You've got 1,000 units in there. You could have somebody in a little one bedroom, probably cost $750,000. But that's the difference, right? So I think in the 38 Avenue and the 55 Prince Arthur, it's way more exclusive. In here, obviously, you're sharing amenities with, right, other folks that are in the building. So that, to me, out the window looks like a car. If this window sides onto an alley or fronts onto a major street, it's a tough sell for 3.8 million bucks, right? It's a little bit dark. I'm not seeing a lot of windows in here. And again, I think this is the one that looks really, really good in photos. But for the person that's looking for livability, functionality, that's downsizing from a bigger house, right, there's not a lot of natural light. So here you can see, again, what kind of privacy are you getting, right? It is actually a really good layout. Again, think privacy here. So square footage is about the same, right? So here's the question. Like, people here on the balcony, people here, you're paying 3.8 million bucks. I don't know. How do you feel about that privacy? So again, absolutely beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. We're really just synonyms. Okay. That's a private elevator. Wow. That's awesome, right? So here you go from the front. So again, how much, right? So the window, I think, that was here was looking, right, in between this little drive-through here. But how much privacy do you have, right? Now, from a walkability standpoint, from a front door standpoint, this is gorgeous. Here are your towers. You are literally stepping right outside onto the ground. That's what the client, of course, that I mentioned earlier, is looking for here, but wants that white glove, wants the amenities, wants the underground, wants all the good stuff that comes with parking. So, that comes with a condo living, like underground parking. So I don't think this would be the one for that particular client. Fees, not too bad, right? Only $1,000. That's a big difference. But again, we're looking at, so look at this, the largest townhouse at the exclusive view. It's not so exclusive. There's 1,000 units. 450 square foot rooftop terrace. They did not show us a photo of that, which is too bad. I did want to see that. So check this out. Enjoy the benefits of home ownership with the benefits of condo living. I wouldn't have worded it that way, but that is essentially what I was getting at. So 3-bed, 4-bath. Of course, I did not actually show that to you. So check this out. This is interesting. Lower level, that was what I showed you downstairs, and I said lots of storage. Parking. It's really neat. Okay, 2 lockers in each garage spot, and it's direct access from your unit. So that's a big, big plus. Okay, check this out. The lift, the elevator, right? Office on the main. Oh, now I gotta turn my head. You're not gonna want to see this. So living, stairs up to the kitchen. This is just not conveyed here, right? Upper level 1. There's a lot of levels here. So let me just go back that one photo I wanted to show you. Where was that? It's losing its luster. Right here, right? Down there, kitchen. Up here, living. A lot of levels. Okay, let me move on. I think I'm tired. So, this is a nice one. I had a client ask me about this. Different client asked me about this. So let's go to the map. So we're on Tranby. So where were we? Right? We were right here at 38 Avenue, and then we were over here at 55 Prince Arthur. We were down south before in the last one. Now we're back up at Tranby. So this is a very, very interesting one. 11E Tranby. So the story here, okay, check this out. Back on the market after 3 years of renos. Brand new addition at the back of the house. There are only 9, one of 9 luxury condo towns. Klein and Sears Architect. I couldn't care less, but I guess a lot of people do care. So beautiful spot. Pet policy: any pet, no weight restriction. Well, my gorilla, his name is Joel. Joel's about 2,000 pounds, so I probably wouldn't have put that in the listing. Okay, so let's take a look. This thing is so pretty. So pretty. Only 9 units in here. Could not be more exclusive. Ross Geller. Love it. 3 years of renos. Could literally grow a tree to cut down and use for wood in the renos in the amount of time it took them for the renos, right? Love the layout of this one. It's long, right? Where's the front door? I love the open concept stairs, right? They're floating. See this? I mean, there's some things in this, like this reminds me of my house. This reminds me of my house. I'm starting to think maybe I'm a little bit biased. I love, love, love the long layout. This to me is a bit of dead space. But that's awesome. Floor to ceiling, walkout. Right? Very private. Birch trees with a deck built right around it. What's not to love, right? That's awesome. So, I mean, my only critique here is like, what kind of dining space are you getting? Massive rooms, right? Everything's so clean. So, I'm tempted to say European inspired. Did Europe really inspire that? Okay. I don't know what's happening here. That looks like a jail bed. I don't know. I think I'm going to leave that one. I don't know what's happening. It's obviously some sort of clothing rack. Okay, upstairs. I mean, it's really minimalist when you think about it, like from the staging or if this is how they're living. So there's multiple outdoor spaces, right? Again, it's a condo. It's a town. You're in Yorkville, but this thing's been on the market a while. So it's a very, very exclusive buyer pool, but it might be so exclusive that it doesn't really appeal to anybody. Okay, so laundry room in the basement, right? This is like an air conditioner. We're so luxurious that we build around our air conditioner. I'm not even going to try to format this so that we can see what's happening in this one. I kind of wanted to. No, it's such a mess. It's such a hot mess. You know what? Okay, so remember when I said I loved how long it was and then I said the dining area? That was my problem. Now, the staging sucks, don't get me wrong, for $4 million. Love this living room, call that a family room, right? Love the 2 doors at the front and the kitchen's beautiful. But this is what bothered me, is they got to put a long, long table there. I'm going to go back to that one if you don't mind, right? This made no sense to me. So for this kind of price point, that's your dining area. That was my critique. So 4.1 million, 51 days in the market. Let me go and show you here. It's been on the market a long time, right? 2.6, okay, 3 years of renos. I mean, I don't know what's happening here, right? We're out at 3.9, we're at 4, we're at 4.1, we're trying to rent it for 14.5, we're at 4.1, we're trying to rent it for 15,000, and now we're at 4.1. So it's been a slog. Now, if we go back, okay, that looks like the same place, right? Anyways, okay, let's move on from that one because the last one I want to show you is unbelievable. Okay, so this is at 128 Pears, which is known as the Perry, right? The Perry. Yeah, the Perry. Check this out. The Perry is a sanctuary for animals of luxury and conscientious design. Not for animals? Yeah, it's a sanctuary. It's a sanctuary for people that have a lot of money, basically. It's a money sanctuary. It's a money area. It's a money sanctuary. 45, who wrote this? The building houses a rare collection of 45 suites. Someone's got a thesaurus, I'll tell you that much. Each a fitting tribute to spaciousness and architectural refinement. Most people can't even read this, but someone actually wrote this. Wow. Naturally, resident security and convenience are of utmost importance with full concierge 24/7, right? Okay, so it is the very definition of white gloves. It's probably one of the nicest places I've seen in a long time. And I can't speak to what kind of finish, what kind of wood, who designed this. I'm not a name person, but I think the photos here speak for themselves. This is, and everyone talks about luxury like the word has no meaning, and people throw around luxury or high-end finishes. The finishes in this place are as high-end as you will find in a Forest Hill home. This place is absolutely unfrickin' believable. Look at the ceiling height. So if you want a condo town, downtown, you want a luxury condo town, that's real herringbone, okay? You will not find a better place than this. Absolutely, positively will not find a better place than this. Look at the ceiling height. Now, the irony is, you're going to have to be downsizing from like 6.5 million, or you're just relocating. some island somewhere where people have a lot of money, right? Yeah, I'm not talking. I'm just looking. There you go, right? So you can see here, right? Condo town on the main. So the building itself is mid-rise. It's, I think, 10 or 11 stories. What did we say? Oh, I closed the Perry. I think we said it was, what, 50-something units? Not a huge building. But even still, for the client that I was talking to that, you know, was the impetus for this video, is that if you don't want to be on the 9th floor or the 88th floor, you want to be in a house without being in a house. But you want the white glove service, you want the concierge, you want to be able to pick up your packages, or in this case, literally have them unwrapped on your bed. You want all that, you've got to be on the main floor. You've got to be walking out. You've got to be in that condo town. In this case, luxury condo town. This is absolutely gorgeous, absolutely breathtaking. So this was a 3-bed, 3-bath, right? $2,500. Drop in the bucket for somebody that's living in this place. They're not huge, right? So we saw ones that were, what, 3,500 square feet. This, I think, is 2,900, $2,500 a month. Again, the write-up here, really good job. Check this out. Classical and contemporary finishes are combined in a stunning transitional design. You know what? That's the definition of transitional right there, right? Classical and contemporary. Modern and traditional. Transitional. Wow, I'm so tired. How long is this? Did we hit an hour yet? It feels like I've been going forever. So that's it, guys. Yeah, downtown condo towns. Or I think I'm going to call this one luxury condo towns. We'll never live in these, right? So that's it. The market's nuts, as am I. I think things are going to continue well into the month of June. I don't see really any change right now. If you read my blog on Friday, which I'm going to probably do tomorrow, it's going to be a bit of a Friday rant. Media coverage has been about the market cooling. The headlines are so misleading. Literally, sales are down from the highest month of all time ever, and people are saying that sales are cooling, right? Yeah, they cooled from the highest month ever of all time. Also, there's a Financial Post article that said prices are down in the 416, and they're actually not, which I'll show you tomorrow. So that's it. That's me. I see things are being crazy out there. Maybe some of the one-bedroom condos aren't going quite as crazy. We're going to test that theory with, oh God, I don't know, like 15 listings this month. So it's going to be a busy one. Anyways, guys, I will leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. As always, have a fantastic weekend. See you next time. Bye for now.